Good morning, Facebook. Happy Monday morning. Happy May 4th. May the 4th be with you. We have construction in the neighborhood. I think one of our neighbors is getting a new roof today. So hopefully that won't be too disturbing to us through our practice today. As we move forward in our discussion of mental health. So this is, before we get started, this is super, super easy yoga for your mental health. This practice is designed for people who don't think they can do yoga or have been curious about yoga, or maybe you want to deepen your practice and you're looking for information that you haven't gotten from your yoga classes that you've been taking in other places. Maybe you're thinking about starting a yoga teacher training and you're exposing yourself to some more in-depth ideas. So part of this practice is studying the philosophy of yoga and then bringing it into our physical practice in our daily life, because the practice of yoga is 24/7. It is a lifestyle practice. It's not just a fitness practice. And I want this to be something that you can take with you long after these videos are over and incorporate it into your daily life, incorporate it into your spiritual life. This is a prescription for living. So the other day, Friday, we were talking about, we've been talking about the Yoga Sutras. We're working in book 1 of the, Yoga Sutras. And we have, as we're coming into a review, we talked about how the Yoga Sutras open up in book 1 as first it says, welcome to the Yoga Sutras. We are now beginning our practice of yoga. And then immediately dives into yoga is the discipline of your mind. It's gaining mastery or gaining control over your thoughts. And then it goes into defining what kind of thoughts arise in our minds and how they can get away from us. And then it goes into defining some of those different thoughts, different types of thoughts. And then it talks about how do we get this reined in? Through practice and non-attachment. And practice is to practice not letting those thoughts get in control of us through meditation. And non-attachment, as we talked about on Friday, in my personal definition, is more towards radical acceptance, having grace, being okay with the ebb and flow of life and accepting when it's time for change to happen, and being able to let go when it's appropriate and necessary. Holding on, whether it's to a thought or a relationship or a thing. If we hold on to something too tightly, it causes mental disturbance. So non-attachment, radical acceptance, and practice. So now next we come into, we're working out of Satchitananda's translation of the Yoga Sutras, and it's the most accepted translation. And I talked about this at the beginning. One of the things that I love about this book is that it is a very literal translation of the sutras. But one of the things that I find difficult, and I have found difficult over the years, especially when I was new to practicing yoga, was all the commentaries that break up the sutras. So when I started my yoga teacher training program, I pulled out all the literal translations without the commentaries. And so I'll be working from this from now on. And these are the literal translations from Yogi Satchitananda as he translated them from Sanskrit to English. And the last week we were talking about non-attachment was defined as being free of objects seen or heard. Free of craving of objects seen or heard. So then the next sutra after that, he says supreme non-attachment. So you can take it up a notch. Supreme non-attachment is to be free of craving, even of enlightenment and union with the divine. So now what Patanjali is saying is, yeah, it's good to be non-attached to the daily mess of life. But if you really want to reach full non-attachment, you have to be unattached to even the craving of union with divine or enlightenment, which means that we can't really ever fully be unattached, because our practice of yoga is to help us be more enlightened, to be more in union with divine, more in union with ourselves. And if we're practicing supreme non-attachment, then we've let go of the goal of ever reaching full union. Or no, not so much the goal, but the outcome. I think that's probably the better way to say it, the outcome. We're letting go of the idea of an outcome when it comes to the search for enlightenment or union with divine. And that's a really hard one for a lot of us to practice. We have this idea in our heads what enlightenment looks like. And I see this a lot in the spiritual community. I used to refer to these people as, I won't label, but there's a lot of people in the spiritual community who think that they are further along the path or more authoritative in their knowledge or their union with spirituality, divinity, meditation, even yoga. And Samadhi says, supreme non-attachment. The thing is that we can think we know lots of things, but we really don't. And if we keep that understanding that we do not really know, we only speculate, we have ideas, we might have a personal bond or personal feeling, but it's not the be-all end-all. And the be-all end-all is not really the goal or the outcome that we're looking for. The goal is to continually search for truth, for divinity, for enlightenment, because we're never truly there. So then the next section, which we'll start to talk about on Wednesday, is what Patanjali referred, words aren't coming out good today, referred to as union with the divine. And I like to think of that as kind of that feeling of upliftedness, that feeling that you're connected with your source. And he has some things to say about that. He has some things to say about what it feels like, what it looks like, and how to get there. And there, excuse me. And so the next few sections of book one, and actually the last few sections of book one, because the book one is only 51 sutras. I know the other day I said it was about 100, but book one is only 51 sutras. And in book one, the next few sections are about union with divine. First, he defines what it is, what it looks like. Then he defines what the obstacles to that feeling of unity with divine are. And then he talks about the different levels or states of union with divine, of divinity. And we'll discuss those in the next few days. And hopefully get to the end of book one. And then we're going to get into book two, which book two is much more, I don't want to say more interesting. It takes a different turn. Book two starts to talk about actual daily practice and what you're supposed to do on a daily basis to reach these goals. So, without any further ado, let's begin our physical practice. But before that, your assignment for the next couple of days is to contemplate what it means to let go of attachment to enlightenment, to the search for enlightenment, to being unattached to enlightenment. And why do you think that it is an important part of your quest for enlightenment, for union with divine, to let go of the idea that you'll ever achieve it? That's a real hard one to contemplate, but I want you to think about it for the next few days. Non-attachment to enlightenment or union with the divine. Whew. I don't know. So, as we begin to bring ourselves into our physical practice today, let's start with the yogic 3-part breath. So, finding a comfortable seated position, either in a chair or on the floor, nice tall spine. Place your hands down on your belly, like the lower half, just below your belly button. And maybe even your thumbs like on top of your belly button. And close your eyes and start just to feel this lower part of your belly. As you breathe in and out, notice if it's moving, if it's not moving. Notice how tense those muscles are, or aren't. We're going to start to bring in that yogic 3-part breath. So as we inhale, we're going to actively push our belly out, letting go of that tension. And then letting the breath travel all the way up into your collarbone. And then allowing it to come back down to your belly, drawing that lower belly in at the very end of the breath. So inhaling, push your belly out, let your lungs fill. Exhaling as you release the air, drawing your belly in at the very end of that exhalation. Almost like a wave crashing on the shoreline, just drawing in and out along the sand. Let that external noise become distant. This breathing technique helps to strengthen your diaphragm, helps to strengthen the lower abdominal muscles, encourages a deeper, fuller breath. When we take deep, full breaths, we're getting more oxygen into our lungs, into the deep recesses of our alveoli, bringing more oxygen into our blood supply, and encouraging the release of unnecessary tension in our bodies. Letting your hands come away from your belly, resting them on your knees. Continuing with this breath just a few more times. Conscious, the movement of your belly, of the filling of your lungs, and of that release. One more deep breath in. One more full breath out. And then allowing yourself to return to a natural breathing pattern, whatever that might be for you. Still with your awareness centered on what it feels like to breathe. Holding that concentration on your breath. Letting it be the guide for your yoga practice. Let's see if we can lengthen our exhalations just a little bit further than our inhalations. Beginning to reach up through the crown of our heads as we inhale. And relaxing our shoulders back and down as we exhale. Growing taller as we inhale. Releasing tension as we exhale. Let's take this a little step further, bringing in the cat-cow movement. So as we inhale, let's press our chest forward, roll our shoulders back and down, lift our chin up towards the heavens. As we exhale, let's curl our spine, tuck our chin towards our chest, roll our shoulders forward. Scrunch up that back. Inhale as you lift, lengthen, press those shoulders back and down. Exhale, curl into a little ball. More times with breath, following the rhythm of your own breath, is that there's a pause between your inhalations and exhalations. Pause your movement. We are so rushed in everything else that we do. I really feel like our yoga practice, to balance us out, needs to be slow and intentional. If we move slow, we breathe slow. If we breathe slow, we send signals through our nervous system to relax and to release. Beautiful. Next time you come to an inhalation, let's come to a neutral spine. As we exhale, let's come away from our knees a little bit with our hands. We're going to do some work with our shoulders. So as we inhale, we're going to draw our shoulders up towards our ears. As we exhale, let's roll them back and down. Let's really squeeze them together and back. Inhale as they come up towards your ears. Exhale, back and down. A couple more times. It's really important that we get that full range of motion in our scapula for as long as we can. This helps to keep us from getting too much of that kyphosis that we get, that rounding of our back, especially as we start to age. The next time your shoulders come back and down, come to stillness. And we're going to take into a twist. So let's bring our right hand to our left knee, our left hand behind us, either on the floor or on your wherever you're sitting. Pressing your right hand into that side of your left leg. Start to bring yourself into a twist. You want to be using your hand as your arm as a lever. It helps to release any tension here. You're not working as hard here. You can get deeper into the twist when those muscles are relaxed. So let your arms do the work for you. Look over your left shoulder and take a few breaths. If you want to exercise your eyes, open them and focus your gaze as far back as you can see. Inhale as we pass through center, and as we exhale, let's make our way to the other side. So your left hand comes to right knee, right hand comes behind you, either to the floor or to your chair. Pressing your left hand into the side of your right leg. Bring yourself into that twist, looking over your right shoulder. Take a few breaths. Try to stay relaxed in your core. Let your hands do the work for you. Your arms do the work for you. Let's inhale as we come back around to center. Beautiful. So let's scoot a little bit forward towards the edge of your chair if you're sitting on a chair. If you're sitting on the floor, change the way your feet are crossed if they're crossed. If they're extended out in front, it's okay. Just stay the way you are. Let's start. We're going to start to work with our arms and our hands. So let's bring our arms up towards the heavens, palms together. Bring your hands into your heart in prayer position. Extending your arms out in front to about shoulder distance. Let's give our wrists a little wiggle. One direction and then the other. You work at a computer a lot. Those wrists can get a little cranky. I know mine have been cranky. I injured my left wrist when I was in my 20s. And it was a long time before I could bear weight on it. So let's go ahead and wiggle our fingers. But it did heal. I can bear weight on it now. Open wide, close tight. Open wide, close tight. See if your face tries to open wide too. Close tight. One more. Close tight, and then shake it off. Just really get it shaking. And then release. Let's bring our hands down, touching our legs, our knees. We're going to stand up. And whew, I'm feeling a little creaky after the weekend. So let's bring our feet a little bit wider than hip distance. We're going to start with some standing twists. So go ahead and just let your arms flap in the breeze. As you start to build up momentum, if you want to, you can bring your back heel off the floor. Just don't get so carried away that you fall down. Build up momentum. Let's build up some speed. Let's build up some strength here. Ooh, there's an owl. We have a mating pair of barred owls in our yard. And they have two babies that just recently started learning how to hunt. And they hunt all day and all night. We also have a little canal behind us. So it's good hunting ground, it's good fishing. So let's let out some big loud ha, 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 ha. Let your belly draw in. Ha, 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 ha. One more. And then let it go. Let the momentum start to die down on its own. Bringing you back to stillness slowly, without being attached, without being an overachiever. Just let the momentum come to stop on its own. Beautiful. Now, since our feet are still a little bit wider than hip distance, well, let's go ahead and heel toe in. So we're going to bring our toes in and then our heels, and our toes and our heels until our feet are hip distance apart about. And we're going to do our toe exercises. We're going to do them a little bit more dynamically today than we have been. So let's bring our hands to our hearts in prayer. As we inhale, let's lift our toes up. Let's let our arms rise up. As we exhale, let's bring our toes down to the floor as our arms come down. So we're going to change that up. As we inhale, we're going to lift our arms up. And this is hard for the brain. As we exhale, we're going to bring our hands down to our heart. And as we do this, let's lift our toes up. Oh, hard. Inhale, toes come down, arms come up. Exhale, hands come to heart, toes come up. Let's get used to that a little bit. We're going to do more with this. We're building. Okay, so now, as we inhale, our toes are going to come down, our arms are going to come up, we're going to lift our heels. Exhale, heels come down, hands come to heart, toes come back up. Inhale up. Tall mountain, exhale down, toes up. Inhale up, heels up, arms up, exhale down, toes up. One more time. We're going to add chair pose to this. So we're going to inhale up to tall mountain, heels come up. As we come down, we're going to bring our heels down. We're going to start to bend into our hips. Toes come up. Hands to heart. So we're inhaling up. Exhaling to chair. Toes up. Inhale up. Exhale, chair. Inhale up. Exhale, chair. inhale all the way up. Hold for a couple breaths. And then exhale as we bring our hands to our heart, heels to the floor, toes can stay on the floor. We're going to do morning glory series. So we're going to inhale as we reach up. As we exhale, reach forward, fold forward. Soft knees. Inhale, slide your hands up to your knees. Straighten those legs, press your shoulders back. Look down at the floor. Exhale, knees soften. We release back down. Inhale, arms come out to your sides, all the way up, palms together overhead. Exhale to your heart. Inhale up. Put a little bit of a back bend into it. Exhale forward. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale forward, soften those knees. Inhale, rise up. Palms together. Exhale to your heart. Inhale up, press your pelvis forward just a little bit. Get a little bit of a back bend. Exhale forward and down. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale down. Soften those knees. Inhale up. Press that pelvis forward a little bit. Exhale to your heart. Let's do it one more time. Inhale up, a little bit of a back bend. Exhale forward and down. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale forward and down. Inhale up. Exhale to your heart. We're going to bring our hands out, open. And as we exhale, let's bring the heels of our wrists to the small of our back. So we want to press into our sacrum right there. Elbows pressing towards each other. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, start to press your pelvis forward. You can bring your chin to your chest, or you can look up if you feel confident. Coming into a little bit of a back bend here. Let's hold and breathe for a couple breaths. Let's inhale as we come back. As we exhale, we're going to fold forward. So slide your hands down your legs. And release that. It's okay to have slightly bent knees here. This is about your lower back. Your hamstrings will catch up someday, maybe. Maybe not. And that's okay. Letting go of attachment to the outcome. Let's inhale as we slide our hands up our legs, curl up our spine, coming back to standing. We're going to come into tree pose today for our balance posture. So we're going to start in Wonder Woman pose. I don't know why I call it Wonder Woman pose, but I've been calling it Wonder Woman pose for years. So that's what it is in my yoga practice. Our feet are hip distance apart, our hands are on our hips, shoulders are back and down, chest is forward and up. We are mighty and strong. It's a good place to start to get our balance. Now, if you're a little unsteady, balancing on one foot, the good news is that your brain does not know if you are cheating. So if you need to grab a hold of a wall or a chair or a table or anything else that's not moving and stable, go right ahead. I do not suggest you grab your neighbor or your friend because they will probably fall down too. So, feet hip distance apart, shoulders back and down, chest forward. Nice tall spine. We're going to lift our right heel off the floor, keeping our right toes still on the floor. We're going to turn our right heel in to meet our left ankle. Slide it over so it touches. And here it is. This is the beginning stage of tree pose. Now, if today's not a good balance day and you don't have something to grab onto and you don't feel confident, you can leave your foot here and you have all the same benefits as the person who goes to the furthest descent of this pose. If this is not where you're slightly uncomfortable and you want to take yourself a little bit further and make yourself a little bit of a challenge, you can slide your foot up to your calf. You can hold it here. Even if you're a more practiced yoga practitioner and you're used to going further into the posture, not going quite as far into the posture can open up some new awarenesses for you in your body. So, calf. Now, if this is really easy and you think, I think I can go further, let's go past our knee to inner thigh. I don't know if I'm an inner thigh girl today. There we go, inner thigh. Now, once we get to this point, we want to press that knee back. Open up as much as we can here. Now, if inner thigh is easy, or maybe it's not so easy because you're slipping on your pants or whatever, then you can start to go all the way up to half lotus. And once you have your balance, wherever that is, you can bring your arms to any position that feels comfortable for you. Today, my tree has a big canopy. Let's breathe. One more breath, and then release. Let's bring our hands back to our hips. Wonder Woman pose. We're going to get ready to do it on the other side. So let's turn our left heel in, bring it to rest on our right ankle. Let's just stay here for a moment. Test the water, see how it feels. If you have your balance, you can slide your foot up to your calf. If this feels okay, we're going to slide past the knee because we don't want to put our foot on our knee joint, inner thigh, starting to press that knee towards the back to open up in the hip. See how that feels. And then if that feels pretty okay and you want to take it one step further, you can grab your foot and bring it to half lotus. And once you have your balance and you feel good in your balance, letting your arms come to any expression that feels right for you today. Let's take a couple more breaths. And then let's release. Beautiful. Hands back at our hips. We're going to take a breath in and let's step forward with our right foot. We want our right leg straight, left leg straight. Both feet are facing the same direction. Our toes are facing the same direction. Hands are on our hips. We can leave our hands here if you want to, or you can fold your arms behind your back, or you can interlace your fingers behind your back. Whatever feels good for you. We want to have this pressing of our scapula into our back as we come into runner stretch in order to get full benefit. So let's take a deep breath in. And as we exhale, we're going to start to fold forward. Basically what we're doing with our arms and our shoulders is locking our spine straight. So we're going to go as far forward as we can without collapsing into our lower back. And then we're going to hold and breathe. This is the hamstring stretch, and it's also a really good stretch for that psoas. One more breath, and we're going to come up. I'm going to give my wrists a little wiggle because my fingers have fallen asleep. We're going to do it again. So again, coming into that arm position, locking your spine in a really straight position to use it as a lever. As you exhale, start to come forward. Hold and breathe. Inhale as you come up. Now when we're holding a posture, if something happens and we can go deeper into the posture, go ahead and let yourself go deeper into the posture. Sometimes as you hold a posture and you start to relax into it, your body will let you go a little bit deeper. You can go deeper. Don't resist the urge to take yourself further into the posture. Resist the urge to take yourself completely out. One more time, we're going to take a deep, let's lock those arms into place. I'm going to fold them this time. My fingers keep falling asleep. Take a deep breath in, and keeping that spine straight, leading with your chest. Come forward. Hold the posture. Stay with the breath. Let's inhale as we come up. As we exhale, let's bring our hands back to our hips. Step that foot back. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So let's step our left foot forward. Nice straight leg. Find a good position for your arms to lock your spine into place. I'm going to stay with the folded cross behind my back. Take a deep breath in. Exhale as you start to come forward. I'm going to hold for a couple of breaths. Keep that leg straight. Inhale as you come up. Take a breath. Next exhalation, come forward again. We're going to hold for a couple of breaths. Keep that spine straight, keep that leg straight. Inhale as you come up. Take a breath. And then exhale forward one last time. We're going to hold and breathe. One more breath. Inhale as you come up. Bringing your hands back to your hips. Take a breath in. Exhale, step back. Beautiful. So I'm going to offer up the next few moments for you to do whatever it is that your body wants for you to do to make this practice complete for you. It can be standing, it can be sitting, it can be on your back, it can be on your belly, it can be upside down. Whatever it is that your body's craving from you to do next, let yourself have it. Take these next few moments to take ownership of your practice. It doesn't have to have a Sanskrit name. Just move freely. exploring sensation in your body, exploring breath. Being present for your own experience. And once your body feels as though it has gotten everything it needs from you today, and only when your body feels as though it's gotten everything it needs from you today, then I encourage you to find a position, either lying down on the floor or on a couch or a bed, or sitting as comfortably as you can get to get ready for deep relaxation. Deep relaxation can be, for many people, their most favorite yoga posture. And for many people, it is their least favorite yoga posture. Because in deep relaxation, the practice is to let go. So as we come to this comfortable position, let's close our eyes. Let's let our awareness come back to our breath, encouraging our exhalations to be longer than our inhalations. Allowing each exhalation to relax us just a little bit more. Letting all external distractions become distant and unimportant as you follow your breath into a deeper and deeper state of stillness. Finding that calm within the storm. That center, the eye. Resting your awareness on your heart. That place of balance between spirit and ego. Between your earthly self and your spirit self. Observing the sensations of your breath. Choosing not to follow those thoughts as they enter your body. Choosing not to follow sensations. Choosing not to follow distractions. Staying focused on your breath and on your heart. releasing tension from your body with each exhalation. And then gently beginning to bring your awareness back to your body, back to sensation. Allowing movement to come to your fingers and your toes. And letting that movement expand however it chooses. Stretching, wiggling, and luxuriating your way back to waking consciousness. Taking your time. And once you feel as though you are ready, allowing yourself to come back to a comfortable seated position of your choice. If you are lying down, if you're seated, just kind of coming into a more active spine, placing your palms over your heart, one over the other, keeping your eyes closed just a little bit longer, holding that place of balance in your hands. Focusing on it just a little bit longer. For every minute we spend meditating on our heart center, we strengthen our immune system for an entire hour. While we're here, let's take a moment to offer yourself gratitude for taking this time for you to learn, to explore, and to nurture harmony within mind, body, and spirit. For as you do for yourself, you do for all. And then bringing your hands to prayer position. Let's take a moment to offer gratitude to our Creator, to the universe, for giving us this time together to practice, for giving us this technology that we can practice, even from our homes. Or when you are in this space within yourself and I am within this space within myself, we are one. May you bring this feeling of peace and well-being with you for the rest of your day and for the rest of the week. Thank you for joining me this morning. Namaste. And God willing and the creeks don't rise, I will be here again on Wednesday morning at 11:30, and we will practice until 12:15, 12:30, somewhere in that area. More yoga sutras, more physical practice, more breath practice, more meditation practice. Practice, practice, practice. If you're blessed and you still have a source of income, you still have money, and you're not going broke, and you're not starving to death, a small donation to Blissful Life would be very much appreciated. They are struggling right now to stay open, even though I guess restrictions are starting to lift, so the studio may be opening with a restricted amount of clientele soon. I don't know. But Blissful Life Corporation is a nonprofit yoga and wellness center that exists in Ocala, Florida, and they offer all of their services, all of their class services, yoga classes, meditation classes, chanting classes. All of those classes are offered on a purely donation, love offering basis, open to the public. Anybody can come as you are. And they accomplish and they do a lot of good work in Ocala. And they really are truly embracing the spirit of what yoga is, and that is balance between mind, body, and spirit, and in nurturing that balance within us all. It should be something that we all have access to, regardless of our financial situation. So if you have it, please donate to them. If you don't have it, please continue to take the classes, whether it's online or in the studio if you're in Ocala. Love and blessings to you all, and I will see you on Wednesday morning, hopefully with some quieter stuff going on out here. If not, maybe we'll go back into my living room. Namaste. Take care. Have a great day.